Hi everyone, welcome back. You guys voted for Too Faced as a brand to use for my next Get Ready With Me. So today I'm going to try to do a full face of Too Faced makeup while updating you on my life. Now I don't have all of the products from Too Faced, so I will be making some substitutes, but I think a good chunk of the video is really going to be about updating you guys on how things have been going. We're going to talk about what had caused the burnout that I had experienced for months, what made me get out of that burnout, what has been happening with my health. I have been feeling sick, I've lost a lot of weight, and just everything that has been happening with my clean house journey, minimalism, zero waste, frugal living. I'm going to update you guys in today's video, so let's get started. So first I'm going to start off with the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. This foundation is beautiful. It looks like silky, satiny skin, very easy to apply. The shade that I'm using is Golden Beige, which is a little bit darker and warmer than my skin tone. First, I want to talk about the burnout that I experienced. For a while, for months, I feel like I kept talking about feeling burnt out and how I didn't want to do anything except lay around in bed and watch Netflix or read fiction, thriller books. And I couldn't figure out why I was feeling that way. You know, everyone had their theories about why I was feeling that way. Some people are saying that maybe it's grief, you know, you haven't really grieved the loss from the divorce, but all in all, I felt like the divorce was a good thing for me. So then, you know, but maybe even though it was a good thing, I still needed to grieve some sort of loss. And then at other times I thought that maybe I'm just exhausted because the divorce process was really stressful, and that is why I'm burned out. So I didn't really know what to do, how to get out of it, and I just kind of allowed myself to feel it, allowed myself to watch Netflix, allowed myself to lay around in bed. And then something happened. And after that thing happened, I felt good. Within a few days, started feeling better, and I didn't experience those symptoms anymore. And it was after the fact that I realized, oh, this is what was causing me to feel bad. But in the moment, all those months, I did not realize that that was what was causing the issue. So what happened was, with my divorce, there were still some things that were pending. Even though we were legally divorced, there were some things that were still pending related to finances. But we agreed to get the divorce without settling on some things, because if we didn't get divorced at that time, it would have probably prolonged the process for years, because the courts were so backed up due to COVID. By the time we would actually end up going to trial, it would have been years, and neither of us wanted to be in that situation. So we were like, okay, you know what, give us a divorce and then we'll deal with these open issues with the lawyers afterwards. Now, the open issues that were left were related to financial stuff. And what had happened was, during the divorce, because of the divorce cost and also because of other things that happened, I had accumulated a lot of debt for the first time in my life. And I had never had this much debt, ever. And I was paying thousands of dollars in just minimum payment. So I didn't realize how stressful that financial situation was for me. Like, it didn't occur to me that this is stressful for me. So what I was basically doing with my finances was, because it was stressful, I was completely ignoring them. So money was tied up. I wasn't getting the money that I needed to pay off the debt. And I was paying all of these minimum payments. So essentially, I was stuck in a place. I didn't want to look at my finances. I was avoiding them. And I wasn't getting the money to fix my finances. So I was just stuck. And that feeling of stuckness, that feeling of this thing that is still pending, is something that keeps running in your head, even subconsciously, all the time. And I think that is what caused me burnout, because I never got a break from it. It was like, it was a thing that was just in my head all the time. So as soon as the money came through and I paid off my debt, within a few days, I started to feel better. I'm gonna use the concealer from Too Faced. This concealer is really good. It doesn't settle into your lines. It gives you nice coverage. And I have actually finished it, but I'm gonna try to squeeze some out for this video. This is also something beige. It's all messed up. I can't really see it, but the shade is also something beige. So I didn't realize that this pending thing with money was such a burden, basically, on my mind, until I got the money and I instantly, like literally within a few days, started to feel better. So you might not realize what in your life is affecting your mental health. Like, overall, getting divorced has been such a great thing for my mental health. Like, there's so many things that I used to experience while being married that just basically went away after I got divorced. And all these feelings of not wanting to do something, laying around in bed after the divorce, completely went away after I got the money. I think if you're experiencing some sort of mental health issue, you really gotta try to think outside of the box and be like, what are all the things that are happening in my life that I wouldn't even consider that could this affect me? And really open your mind and think about it, because my mind just didn't even think that that was such a big issue for me. I don't have Too Faced powder, so I'm just going to use a regular powder, and regular meaning any other powder that I have, and I'm going to set the under eye. So I'll just use this Milani powder. So my burnout situation all, went away. I started feeling good, but then another thing started. And that thing is what caused me to lose a lot of weight. I lost like 13 pounds in the last couple of months. And I don't know what caused me to have this health issue. So I started having acid reflux. It is really uncomfortable, at times painful, so I just started to not eat. And not eating caused me to lose weight. Now, some of it is a good thing, because I did want to lose weight. Did I want to lose this much weight? Not really. I was hoping to just lose like 5 pounds, maximum 10, because if you lose too much weight, it kind of affects your face and you start to see more lines, and hence you start to look weaker and older. And so I wasn't trying to lose that much weight, but I did end up losing 13 pounds. I mean, the only other thing that has been happening in my life was some things that were stressing me related to work. So that's literally the only thing that I can think of that might have caused the acid reflux, combined with the fact that during my burnout phase, I was overeating and laying around in bed. So I didn't have the physical activity, I was overeating, I was feeling stressed about certain things, and I think all that combined created this issue. And some days it's still going on, and some days it's exhausting. For my eyes, I'm using this Too Faced Pumpkin Spice palette. I had decluttered this, but I'm like never letting it go. I'm kind of keeping it in a place that I want to turn into a makeup museum. So I pulled it back out. I think it'll be fun to use this palette. So I'm gonna take the Pumpkin Spice shade into my crease. So the health thing is very exhausting because sometimes when I'm working, I start to feel the pain and the discomfort in my chest, and then I need to stop working and take a break, allow myself to feel better. Usually the way I feel better is just to lay down, take like a sort of a quick nap and relax myself, and that helps the acid go down. But like that's frustrating to, you know, when you're trying to do your job, to have to deal with something like that. When I'm not doing my job, I can just lay around in bed, you know, but when you have to do things and you're not feeling good, that is hard. And I feel like in our society, acid reflux is something that no one takes seriously. If you tell someone, oh, I have acid reflux, it's like they won't even hear you because they don't think it's a real problem. You know, sometimes people will make jokes about acid reflux, or it's like unless you have fever or, you know, you're like super congested, people can see your disease, it's not taken seriously. I took medicine for 2 months. I did not want to take medicine for, not 2 months, sorry, 2 weeks. I did not want to take it for too long because there's side effects from proton pump inhibitors that I don't want to deal with the side effects afterwards. Sometimes using those medicines for too long actually increases the acid when you get off of them. So I did not want to use it for too long. So now I have stopped taking it. And I get the symptoms if, you know, I by mistake eat something that doesn't sit well with me, or if I rush while I'm eating, or even if I'm like slightly stressed out, that causes the acid reflux. So it's like I have to live in a very relaxed way for me to not eat less, be careful with what I eat, and when I'm eating, I need to eat in a very relaxed manner. So if I'm rushing to do something for work and I just quickly eat, I'm gonna get acid reflux. And I'm just sick of it. I'm tired of it. This shade is so pretty. Maybe it's a sign that, you know, I need to learn to just relax. It's like my body is telling me, dude, just chill out. Don't stress about anything. And I know that I'm like really stressed about work. It's like, it's not even that anything stressful is happening. It's just because some stressful things had happened. Now I'm just kind of stuck in this stressful mindset, even though there's nothing stressful that's happening right now. So I don't know how to get out of that. I'm gonna have to figure it out, otherwise I'm going to be in pain. All right. I really like this shade. Next, I'm just gonna use some purple shades from this palette. So I'm gonna use this matte in the outer corner, then I'm gonna use this purple, and then this purple. Other things that have been happening, I took you guys along with me on my cleaning journey. My house was a mess. And since I didn't feel burned out anymore, I was motivated to get my house in order. And that was a great decision. Like, I just feel like my quality of life is so much better since my house is cleaner now. And, during my clean house journey, it kind of cleared my mind to do other things. And now I'm trying to be low waste. I try to be a zero waste person, but it's just too hard for me. So I'm just trying to be as low waste as I can, which is not that much. I still create a lot of trash, but some of the changes I've made is I got this machine that turns food waste into fertilizer. So none of my food goes into landfill, which makes me very happy, because supposedly the food in the landfill creates 10% of the bad gases that are in the atmosphere. So that makes me happy. Also been very focused on my finances. I am trying to live a frugal life, so that's why I've decided to not buy more makeup. Once in a while I might, but I'm really, really trying to stay focused on not buying new makeup. And I would love to, change the culture of beauty community from new makeup to other ways of just having fun with makeup. I feel like I'm not good at doing makeup while talking. Like, this video is gonna be such a mess. From my cleaning journey and then moving into becoming a person that lives more sustainably, lives frugally, I've also been decluttering a lot, and I'm like trying to be as minimal and intentional as possible. So all those things made me feel really good about myself. Like, I felt good. I'm like, I'm living my life, according to my values, and I felt really good. But then a week later, I felt so bored. Oh my God. And when I started getting bored, then I started getting all these ideas of, okay, what can I do to change the culture of the beauty community? What kind of videos can I do to inspire people to use their makeup instead of buying new makeup? So all these new ideas started coming in my mind. And then I made all these plans of doing all these videos, and then all those ideas exhausted me, and then I became overwhelmed, and I'm like, I'm not doing anything. So it's like I do these things that make me feel good, but then once they're done, I feel satisfied where I am, then I start to get bored. And then I start creating new ideas in my head of what I can do. And then those new ideas exhaust me and overwhelm me, and then I just stop. I don't know what to do. This is the thing that I'm like struggling with right now, because if I don't do anything, then I become extremely agitated and bored. And if I do something, I need it to be so meaningful and so like adventurous and big that then it starts to become overwhelming. When you try to change who you are, for a brief period of time, you achieve something about yourself, it gives you these good hormones in your body and you feel good about yourself. But then after a little bit of time, then those good feelings go away, and then you need something new to make you feel good. So I'm starting to wonder if becoming a certain type of person is not something I need to focus on. What I really need to focus on is, what do I do on a day-to-day basis in my life that is fulfilling? What do I do every single moment that is fulfilling? I don't need to become a certain type of person to feel fulfilled. I just need to make sure that my living, my way of life is in alignment with who I want. Not who I want to be. Like, that is where I feel like I'm making the mistake. I'm just always continuously on this journey of who I want to be. And I think I need to shift my focus from who I want to be to just living a good day-to-day life that feels good for me and feels good with my kids. I'm gonna move on to the purple shimmers that I showed you guys. This one is called PSL and Chill. And I'm going to put it right next to where I put the matte purple shade. I'm really struggling with my mind and the bazillion ideas that come up in my head, and how then those bazillion ideas then become very overwhelming. Like, I need to just shut my brain down. I know I should be probably writing in my journal again. I think that will be helpful if I just take those ideas and write it down. I need to get them out of my head. I do believe I have some sort of neurodivergent brain. I don't know what it is, but there's definitely something up with my brain, how it's very overactive, and I need to calm it down. So I'm just going kind of like a little back and forth with the darker purple and the light purple, and just kind of making sure they look well blended together. And I got some fallout. It's a little chunky. It's not the smoothest shimmer. So I'm happy I decluttered this and kind of stuck to the brands where I feel like the formula is really good, like Natasha Denona. But it's not a bad formula though. It's a fun palette to use, so I wouldn't say that anyone else should declutter it. But given that I get very overwhelmed with makeup, I think this was a good decision to declutter this palette. I'm going to bring some of that pumpkin spice color from my crease into my lower lash line. Bring a little bit of brown in here. Okay, so my memory card was full and I just kind of finished up my eye look off camera, and basically I put the shade from the crease also in the inner corner and I brought it up a little bit just to create a little bit of drama, and then I put eyeliner and mascara. So here is the eye look. I really like it. I love the colors. I think Too Faced did a really nice job with the color story of this palette. It's fun, it's interesting, and it still somehow goes together. Maybe not the entire palette, but you can create a lot of different looks with this. I don't have a Too Faced eyeliner anymore. The brush kind of split a little bit. It deteriorated, but the eyeliner was nice. And I also don't have a mascara, so I use the Milani eyeliner, and I feel like the drugstore eyeliners are pretty good. And we don't necessarily need to get a more expensive liner like Too Faced. Milani ones are good. I liked Moira eyeliner as well, and Winky Lux. and I had this small sample of Westman Atelier mascara. I used that today, and this is nice. It gives you nice, thick, fluffy lashes. The blush that I'm going to use today, it doesn't go with the look. Because I have this sort of pumpkin-y, orangey shade here and in my crease, I would have gone for a subtle sort of peachy blush, and this one's pink, but I'm gonna apply it anyway because I said I was gonna do a full face of Too Faced. Like, this look does not call for a pink blush. I could have done a pink blush with the purple eyeshadow, but not with the fact that I've added this sort of orangey color in the crease and the inner corner. Then pink doesn't really work with it, but it's okay. I'm not going anywhere. And it's a really nice blush. I would like to have more shades in this formula. It is really nice. Packaging is really nice. So I would love to have more shades in this, but this month is a no buy. So I'm not buying any makeup this month, or basically anything that's non-essential. So when it comes to frugal living, I'm not just cutting back on makeup, I'm also cutting back on a lot of things. And I'm also being very mindful of where I do grocery, what do I buy. So I'm being very, very frugal. This is a nice blush. For my lipstick, I'm going to use the Cocoa Bold lipstick. It's one of my favorite lipsticks. This is in the shade Buttercream. It smells like chocolate. And this is a nice shade also. I like doing this light color lipstick with a bold purple eye. So I would have opted for a blush that is similar in this color on the cheeks instead of pink. I'm gonna use the Milani powder a little bit just to kind of make the look cohesive. I really like this Milani powder. Only thing I do like when it comes to high-end is eyeshadow, like Natasha Denona eyeshadow. And I do like the packaging of blushes and lipsticks better in higher end and luxury products versus drugstore. But everything else, I feel like, it's not like the powder packaging of high-end makeup is more luxurious looking. It looks just like the drugstore packaging. So what am I paying for if the formula is pretty much the same? With regards to foundations, even though the formula might be similar, in several cases, the pump on a drugstore foundation broke before the foundation finished. But so far, any of the luxury foundations that I have with a pump, their pump did not break. And I've finished at least two, well, actually one luxury foundation with a pump, and I'm almost done with this Too Faced one that has a pump, and I'm almost done with the Huda Beauty one that has a pump. But the Milani foundation that I had with the pump broke. I feel like maybe even 2 times. Or it was either the Milani foundation pump broke 2 times, or it was 2 drugstore foundations, but I remember the pump broke for both of them. Right, I think I am done with my makeup look. I would normally finish this up with a setting spray, but I'm not going anywhere, and I don't have a Too Faced setting spray anyways, so might as well not waste my setting spray. Editing Jyoti here, I totally forgot to use the bronzer. This is a very old bronzer that I have from Too Faced. This is called a Chocolate Gold Soleil. Soleil? It's fine. See, it didn't break. I don't know if you guys can hear the buzzing bee in this room. But this is a nice bronzer. I like it. I feel like Too Faced complexion products are really good. Complexion? Yes, complexion, like their foundation, their concealer, their blushes, their bronzer, they're all great products. When it comes to their eyeshadow, I feel like the matte formula is good, but their shimmer is not outstanding. But the mattes are nice, which is why I feel like their most popular, one of their more popular eyeshadows are matte. Are they? Is it? The Master Mattes? No, that's Makeup by Mario. Is it? Oh my god. Okay, I'm just gonna stop talking now. Yeah, here's the bronzer. It's subtle, or the way I apply it. I don't like too much bronzer. I feel like this is good. It still smells good, and I love the packaging. And here's the packaging of the bronzer, and here's the blush. So the blush is much smaller, but they're both very similar and they're both really beautiful. But here's the final look. I really like it. I love a purple eyeshadow with a more like neutral, lighter, but peach leaning lipstick. I hope you liked this video. I hope you enjoyed some of the updates on my life, what is happening, what's going on, how I'm feeling. Let me know how you guys been doing. I feel like things are just crazy. I feel like a lot of people are struggling with their mental health, and if you're in the US, elections are coming, so there's a lot of things happening on that side, and the world feels crazy. Sometimes your mind feels crazy, and let me know how you guys are doing. And if you like the video, make sure you hit that like button, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. Thank you. Bye.